It's a super long-winded answer to that question. Is that okay, and do you need a pithier one?
That's fine.
You sure? So anything that gives off light is a new collaboration between the team and the National Theatre of Scotland. And it started actually like many things do, in a bar. And a friend of mine was joking that if Rocky was made in Scotland, it would end when Daniel San breaks his leg. And so it got us onto this like huge riff of how American narratives differ from Scottish narratives. And now we have gotten to actually a really simple narrative. It's the story of a road trip. And an American woman named Red, played by Jessica Macy and the team, who in a bar one night meets a guy named Brian, played by Brian Ferguson, and a friend of his, and together these three travel north into the Highlands. But during that trip, they are constantly playing games with each other, sort of role-playing games with each other that suddenly go a step or two too far and become these whole landscapes for our national dreams and nightmares, and also very personal dreams and nightmares. So the team is a collaborative writing ensemble, and we have very much used our process for this piece, even though we're working with these three Scottish artists for the first time, as well as these two musicians, one of whom is American and one of whom is Scottish. And we make our work largely through character-based improvisation. And so in this play, and I think in much of our recent work, there's a very thin line between the process through which we make and then the final form that show ends up taking. And so we've been looking a lot at the Scottish Enlightenment, reading our Adam Smith, trying to read our David Hume, and looking at that moment in Scotland as the center of a larger moment that was happening across Europe, and how those ideals imprinted themselves upon America at its founding. It's going to cross a lot of layers of reality. I think it'll feel quite slippery, although it's very, very much based in the human journeys of these three characters.